This is the story of Nig, the Hoover Dam Mascot. As you complete your visit to the Hoover Dam, and upon returning to the parking structure, you will see a few palm trees in the distance, marking a small alcove on your right. You will see an oval white sign and a brown plaque placed on the canyon wall. Beneath the plaque is a concrete resting place for Nig, the Hoover Dam mascot. In the past, before the Bureau of Reclamation placed the white oval sign near this site, most people walked right past Nig's resting place, unaware of the importance of this site. Now, much like the couple in this video, many people now stop to learn more about Nig, the mascot of the Hoover Dam. To confirm the location of Nig's final resting place, you can see that it is just below the new parking structure and, of course, the Hoover Dam bypass bridge. This plaza or walkway used to be the main road leading to the top of the dam. It was converted to a walkway in 1995 when the new parking structure and visitor center were built. As you can see in this view, the walkway leads between those two white structures in the distance, which essentially lead to the top of the dam. And this was the direction of the road at that time. And this has since been converted into a walkway leading to the escalators for the Hoover Dam tours. This is the new sign that was erected several months ago by the Bureau of Reclamation. This sign gives the visitor a short glimpse into Nig's life and his importance to the dam. Returning to this area, which was the roadway, it was an unusually warm day in February 21st, 1941. When a truck loaded with steel stopped, the driver got out to find out where to deliver the steel. And when he returned to the truck, he had not noticed that Nig, who was seeking a place to lie down to sleep, and who also was by now almost 10 years old, and perhaps hard of hearing, was not aware of when the driver started the truck, placed it in gear, and took off. The driver immediately stopped when he heard the death yell of Nig. It was too late. Nig was gone. It was a sad day in Boulder City as the news spread. The first workers to the scene petitioned the Bureau of Reclamation to bury Nig nearby at the base of the rock wall. Surprisingly, permission was granted. Someone brought over a jackhammer and a hole was dug for Nig. He was wrapped in a canvas bag, placed in the hole, and sealed with a layer of concrete, lest he not be forgotten. The name Nig was inscribed in capital letters in the drying concrete. There was not a dry eye amongst the men who were there. In 1979, a collection was taken up by the citizens in Boulder City to create a bronze plaque commemorating Nig, and the Bureau of Reclamation agreed to place the plaque above the gravesite. Less than 1 year later, a visitor to the dam saw the plaque and the gravesite and felt that this name was a flagrant racial slur and should not be displayed at a government facility. This visitor was no ordinary concerned citizen, nor was he a black activist. He was none other than Clarence Kalin, a well-known socialist who had spent his entire life as a champion of the common man and racial equality. In 1937, Kalin went to Spain as part of the Abraham Lincoln Brigade, a group of idealistic young men who were determined to fight against Franco-fascism. He was wounded during the Battle of Ebro and returned to the United States, but he wasn't defeated and continued his social activity, defending labor unions, defending Social Security and employment benefits for all. And most interestingly, he pursued the defense of African American rights in this country. And according to his daughter, he once had the largest book collection on African American history in the state of Wisconsin. So when Kalin saw the Nig plaque, he went to the local head of the Bureau of Reclamation and explained to him that that plaque with that name was offensive to African Americans, at which point the Bureau representative essentially told Kalin to get lost, that the plaque would remain. Well, Kalin was not to be denied and relentlessly complained to his congressman, the NAACP, and anyone else who would listen. And eventually the Bureau of Reclamation came under a lot of heat and pressure, and they removed the plaque. In response, the people of Boulder City formed their own campaign, and the citizens and former dam workers started an intense letter-writing campaign and also generated a petition which eventually had well over 600 names, all protesting the removal of the plaque. Support even came from as far away as Europe, protesting the removal of the plaque. But it was all to no avail. The Bureau stated that they would not reinstate the original plaque. However, several months later, after continuing outrage by the people of Boulder City, the Bureau agreed to post a new plaque in the same place. But this new plaque did not mention the dog's name. And this is the one that you see over Nig's grave today. Nig was born in either late 1931 or early 1932 in Boulder City under Workers' Dormitory Number 4, or as others state, under the old Ranger Station. Be that as it may, Nig was the runt of the litter and was adopted by one of the workers. He took Nig to the dam worksite each day in order to look out for him. But before long, as Nig grew older, he became a fixture at the dam as well as in Boulder City. He was a black Labrador mix with a somewhat shaggy coat, a white blaze on his chest. He had large feet and a cropped tail. Each day, Nig would join his chosen crew and then march off to the mess hall, where the crew members would gather their lunch pails, and Nig would be given a special meal in a paper bag by one of the chefs. He would then hop aboard one of the transports with his crew and go down to the work site. When they arrived at the work site, they would put their pails in a row and go off to work. Nig, likewise, placed his lunch bag next to theirs and would not touch it until they took a break for lunch. Nig had free rein of the construction site, and whenever he wanted to move from one area to another or go back to Boulder City, he would just go up to one of the intersections, wait for an approaching vehicle, and he would bark, notifying the driver that he wanted a ride. He would then hop in the vehicle and go wherever he wanted to. So the story goes, one time, one of the superintendents was returning to Boulder City from the dam, and Nig wanted a ride. The workers always thought it was very interesting seeing Nig in the front passenger seat and the superintendent's wife having to sit in the back seat as they drove from the dam to Boulder City. Nig was well cared for by the workers. They paid for a fancy collar for him to wear. However, because it was diamond-studded, that collar was soon stolen by a visitor, after which they bought Nig a more conventional collar. They also paid for his veterinarian bills, and they also paid for his food. When it was decided that dogs would be licensed in Boulder City, the workers also paid for Nig's dog license. And as a tribute to him, he was given dog license number 1. One day, Nig was peacefully sleeping on the porch of one of the dormitories when a disgruntled and possibly inebriated worker refused to walk around him and kicked at Nig. Well, some of the other workers saw this, and they began to beat the man so badly that the ranger for Boulder City had to come and rescue the man, whereupon the perpetrator was escorted to the gate of Boulder City and told never to return. Nig eventually became the unofficial superintendent of the construction project. Whenever he wanted to visit an area, he would simply jump on one of the skips and go along the high cableways. He had no fear of traversing the elevated catwalks that bridged the canyon, and it was said that he could scale an 8-foot ladder. Nig came to know who belonged in Boulder City and who belonged at the work site. And if visitors tried to approach him, he would show them some teeth and a low growl, and they would usually leave him alone. One time, Nig became seriously ill when the people of Boulder City began to feed him too many sweets, especially candy bars. And after he recovered, thanks to the vet, a message was posted in the Boulder City newspaper. And after that, the people in Boulder City stopped giving Nig things that he should not eat. Whenever times are tough, like during the Great Depression, the people need a hero to help them to forget their woes and give hope for a better future. For the workers at Hoover Dam and the citizens of Boulder City, this was Nig. He will forever be a part of the histories of both. The next time you visit the dam, stop at the little alcove on your way back to the car. Read the new oval white sign that is there, and pause and pay your respects to Nig, the Hoover Dam Mascot.